It all began on a quiet evening in a small town. People were going about their regular routines, unaware of the approaching event that would change the course of history. The first signs were subtle clouds swirling oddly in the sky, strange flickers in the atmosphere, but nothing out of the ordinary. No one could have expected what happened next. Jared, a 34-year-old scientist with a deep fascination for space, had been working late in his lab. He wasn't expecting any breakthrough that night, but then, the weather patterns started behaving strangely. A flash of light, barely noticeable, appeared just above the horizon. It was brief but enough to catch his attention. Intrigued, he grabbed his phone and checked the local weather systems. No explanation for the light showed up, but his gut told him something wasn't right. Before he could react, his phone buzzed. A news alert. Strange object spotted in the sky. Unidentified phenomenon over a rural town in North America. His curiosity piqued, he made his way out of his lab and into the streets. It wasn't long before the flashing lights in the sky became undeniable. More people began to gather, gazing upward. As Jared looked on, a massive ship, gleaming silver, with an almost organic shape emerged from the clouds. There was no sound, just the presence of it. The sight was so extraordinary that it felt surreal. Was it a dream? Was it real? As the crowd stood frozen, some began to shout in fear, others in awe. Jared, however, stood still, heart pounding, mind racing with questions. What were they? Why here? Then, the ship descended, its presence commanding and unmistakable. Slowly, it hovered above the ground before touching down gently, as though the earth itself had made way for it. It was now just a few hundred feet away, looming over them, silent. And then, it happened. A door, unseen until now, opened. A figure emerged, tall, humanoid but unlike anything Jared had ever imagined. The being was translucent, shimmering like the sky itself, its body almost liquid in form. Its eyes, large and full of knowledge, scanned the crowd, moving over every face. There was no hostility in its gaze, only curiosity. Jared's heart raced. The first contact. The news spread like wildfire. What did they want? Were they peaceful? Dangerous? Humanity was not prepared for this moment, yet it had arrived. The days that followed the arrival were filled with confusion, fear, and excitement. The alien, whom the world now called ET, had not communicated through words, but through thoughts. In an instant, Jared had understood, the aliens were here to learn, not to conquer. As the initial shock wore off, a government task force, led by experts from around the world, convened. Jared was invited to be a part of the team, given his scientific background and quick grasp of the situation. The world's governments were scrambling to make sense of the encounter, and Jared was thrust into the heart of it all. The alien being, ET, communicated with them through telepathic impressions, effortlessly transferring thoughts to their minds. They learned that ET's species was ancient, traveling across galaxies to explore and understand other civilizations. This was not an invasion, but a peaceful exchange of knowledge. ET showed them images of distant stars, of civilizations long gone, of science beyond human comprehension. But there were things unsaid, things hidden beneath the surface. ET mentioned something about gathering knowledge before the Great Silence. Jared wasn't sure what that meant, but the tone in the alien's message sent a shiver down his spine. Despite the overwhelming evidence that ET was peaceful, fear gripped the world. Conspiracy theories flourished, governments quarreled, and people began to question the true intentions of these visitors. Some feared that they were just waiting for the right moment to strike. Others believed they could offer humanity great wisdom, but only if they were worthy. As days turned into weeks, a breakthrough came. ET made an offer. They would share their technology with humanity, technology that could end hunger, cure disease, and reverse environmental damage. The world held its breath. This was the moment of truth. Could humanity accept help from a race so different, so unknown? Would they be ready to take that leap of faith, or would fear drive them to reject the very thing they needed most? Jared found himself caught in the middle. His trust in the alien being was unwavering. He believed that this was humanity's chance to evolve, to join a cosmic community. But as he looked into the eyes of his fellow humans, he saw a growing divide. Some embraced the possibilities, while others feared what might be lost in the process. As the tensions grew, something unexpected happened. E.T. shared a vision, one that rocked everyone to their core. The great silence that they had hinted at was a warning. All advanced civilizations in the universe, at some point, faced extinction. It was the fate of every species that reached a certain level of technological advancement. They called it the end of knowing. E.T.'s species had survived it by embracing unity and peace with the cosmos. But they had also learned a painful truth: every civilization that fell because of its own internal strife. War, greed, hatred, these were the forces that tore apart even the most advanced of worlds. They had come to offer humanity a chance to break that cycle before it was too late. Jared was one of the first to understand the depth of the message. He saw the patterns in history, how every civilization that had reached the heights of knowledge had collapsed under the weight of its own divisions. Humanity was no different. They could accept the alien technology, but if they continued on their path of division, they too would fall. It wasn't just about technology, it was about the soul of humanity. The world's governments, still in chaos, realized that they had to make a choice. A decision had to be made: could they unite under the banner of a common cause, or would they allow fear to tear them apart? The days that followed were intense. Political leaders, religious figures, scientists, and citizens debated fiercely. Would humanity make the right choice? Was peace really possible? Could they trust these beings from the stars? In the end, it wasn't a decision made by politicians or scientists. It was made by the people. People across the world, united by the hope of something greater, decided to embrace the knowledge and peace offered by E.T. They realized that to survive, they had to let go of the divisions that had held them back for so long. E.T. left, not with promises of domination or control, but with a message of hope. The universe was vast, but it was not a cold, indifferent place. It was a place where understanding, unity, and wisdom could flourish if humanity was willing to change. As Jared stood watching the alien ship disappear into the stars, he understood. This was just the beginning. The real work was only just starting.